Today is the first day the U.S. is enforcing real IDs. It's an identification that allows people to fly domestically and gain entry into certain federal buildings. So tonight, we went out to Toledo Express to talk with travelers and got their thoughts on the change. Steve Iwanek was there. Steve, you found people who had them and those who didn't.
I sure did, Kaylee. Some people we talked to said they've had their real ID for years, and others got it before boarding today. And one guy, well, it was a different story.
I think I'm going to get on the airplane, but if I don't, then I might need a ride.
Michael Scott Kujno of South Toledo showed up at Toledo Express ready to board the 8:20 flight to Punta Gorda, Florida, but he was worried.
So I couldn't find my documents that I needed.
Documents to get his real ID. Starting today, all over the U.S., travelers must be real ID compliant to board domestic flights and access certain federal facilities. Kujno says he spent a lot of time in line at the BMV.
I sat there for 2 hours because the line is out the door.
What does a real ID look like? Well, if you have a kind of ID like myself, it says in the top right-hand corner, not a federal ID. But if you have a real ID, instead of that saying in the corner, instead, there's a nice star in the corner.
Some travelers, like Lisa Ringman, already made the switch.
I believe the Real ID is a good option to have. It gives more security and quicker access to the airport in and out.
She got her real ID last year for a cruise. As a frequent flyer, she thinks it's a smart thing to have.
I would urge them to get that quickly, and I believe it's going to be beneficial down the road. It may be a little bit of a hiccup right now, but if they prepare for it, it should go a long way.
But what if you haven't made the switch?
So you can still fly even if you don't have a real ID, as long as you have another form of ID like a passport. But that does mean you're probably going to get some extra screening by TSA before you board.
And that was the case for Kujno. With his birth certificate in hand, he cleared TSA and made his Wednesday night flight.
Now, according to the state, Ohio has been issuing real IDs for the past 7 years. And if you're interested in getting one, they can be issued to you at no cost at any local BMV. In the newsroom, Steve Iwanek, WTOL 11.